Make today iconic. What is up, guys? It's Upcome Sports, back with another realistic rebuild here on my channel. In this one, we're doing the Minnesota Timberwolves. You guys can pause the objectives if you like. These are the settings I use. If you're new to the channel, just know sometimes I do use trade override if I feel like I can make a fair trade for both teams. That might happen in real life, but after the first maybe 2 seasons, I'll try to turn it off. Or if it's not being fair, I will keep it on. But for the most part, I try to keep it as realistic as possible in these rebuilds. But down the line in the future, you don't really know what's going to happen in the NBA. So if I make a questionable move, you guys can leave it in the comments. But here's the roster. It is an updated roster. Josh Okogie, who they did draft in this last year's draft. And they also got Keita Bates-Diop, who have some potential, but we're going to try to work around Karl-Anthony Towns and build around him. We might trade Butler and Wiggins. We'll wait to see. So in this first season, Stephen Curry wins MVP for the Warriors, DeAndre Ayton Rookie of the Year, Tyreke Evans Sixth Man, Chris Dunn Most Improved, and Steve Kerr Coach of the Year. Jimmy Butler on the All-NBA second team, averaging 18 points, 5 rebounds, 6.6 assists. Pretty good season from him. Towns also on the All-NBA third team, averaging a double-double. So pretty solid numbers from him. Butler also on the defensive team. But we were the 5th seed, winning 46 games. So 46 and 36, pretty good from the Timberwolves. Obviously last year they got the 8th seed in real life and got bounced in the first round. So let's see if we can do better this year. We'll be playing the Denver Nuggets, who actually made the playoffs this time as the 4th seed. So that'll be a tough matchup. But as you guys can see here, the stats. Wiggins about 16 points per game. Not too bad. Derrick Rose 11 points per game. So in this first round, we're actually up 3-1 on the Denver Nuggets. Hoping to get to the second round for the first time in a very long time. And Isaiah Thomas drops 20 in a loss. So we do close out the series here. And we'll be moving on to the second round to play the Warriors. So, tough matchup, but in this second round, we are down 3-1 to the Warriors, which I expected. I actually expected a sweep from them, but they are going to win in 5 games here. Steph Curry with a humongous game. Triple-double from him, 11 rebounds and 12 assists. You don't see that very often from Steph, but it can happen. Towns dropped 30. So let's see who wins these playoffs. Warriors and the Celtics, and the Warriors take it all. So in the 2019 NBA draft, we are going to take a power forward, PJ Washington out of Kentucky. We have a hole at power forward, so hopefully he'll start for us. So as you guys may have heard, Jimmy Butler has expressed that he will not sign an extension with Minnesota and he would like to play in New York following the next season. And the only way to do this really is a sign and trade, because New York doesn't really have cap space. And it works for us because we get some value in return for Butler. We'll be getting Frank Ntilikina, a first-round pick, and also Tim Hardaway. And as you can see, Jimmy Butler would fit really nice. They got Bol Bol and Harrison Barnes, along with Kevin Knox. So in this second season, I don't know how good we're going to be, but we still have Wiggins, we still have Towns. Tim Hardaway will play the shooting guard, and we don't really have a great point guard. Jeff Teague, 1 more year, making 19 mil. We might move on from him and look for a better point guard, but let's see if we can make the playoffs or be in the lottery. So Russell Westbrook wins MVP for the Thunder this season. Zion Rookie of the Year for the Kings, even though that pick should go to the Celtics. Billy Donovan Coach of the Year. Towns on the All-NBA second team, so he did improve from last year, averaging about 22 and 12. Pretty nice season from him. But we were really bad this season. We were the 11th seed, only winning 34 games, which I kind of expected. I thought maybe we'd get like the 9th or 10th seed, but around that range is what I expected. So we will have the Knicks pick. It was lottery protected, so we'll have 2 second-round picks in the next draft. Wiggins had a pretty nice season, almost 17 per game. Tim Hardaway only 10 points per game. We'll look to trade him maybe. PJ Washington had a pretty nice season. But let's see who wins these playoffs. I'd imagine the Warriors are going to take down the Rockets here. and they will be getting to the finals against the Hawks. I don't know how the Hawks made it, but... So we're projected a lottery pick here and at 8, but we do drop to 9. So Gorgie Jang is someone who's really overpaid. He's making about almost $20 million a season. He only has 1 year left on his deal, so we're going to send Sacramento a couple of second-round picks for them to take on his contract. And here is a trade that I really like for this team. Andrew Wiggins straight up for D'Angelo Russell. They're making about the same amount of money, about on the same amount of contract years, and they're averaging about similar stats, so it would make sense for both teams. Brooklyn just drafted LaMelo Ball, and they also have Isaiah Washington. Both of them have 90 or above potential at the point guard position, so that means they're moving on from D'Angelo Russell, and they need a small forward. As you can see, here's LaMelo Ball. They do need a small forward, and we need a point guard for our franchise. We can get a small forward in this draft, so it just makes sense for both teams. And we'll see if they accept. If not, I'll have to trade override this, but it makes sense for both teams, I think, at least. And with the 9th pick in this draft, we are going to pick up a small forward, Alonzo Gaffney, out of Ohio State. Hopefully, he'll be Wiggins' replacement. And as I said before, we do have a hole at the power forward position, so we're going to draft another one in Isaiah Mobley out of Cal. And I'm sure Minnesota wants to stay competitive after almost making the playoffs last year and also making the playoffs with Jimmy Butler. So we're going to send Tyus Jones and Tim Hardaway and a first-round pick for Chris Middleton. So for this next season, this is what the team is looking like. Karl-Anthony Towns is our superstar at a 95. D'Angelo Russell, Chris Middleton, Frank Ntilikina, Josh Okogie, Justin Patton, Keita Bates-Diop. We're not really that solid on the bench, but I'm sure we can fight for a playoff spot at least, or maybe get even a lottery pick if that. So in this season, Steph Curry's going to win the MVP again for the Warriors. Scottie Lewis for the Cavs Rookie of the Year, Brandon Ingram Sixth Man, and Lloyd Pierce Coach of the Year. Towns on the All-NBA first team, so he's been improving every season. I like that from him. He's our superstar, but it looks like no one else made a team. Yeah, D'Angelo Russell didn't make a team. That's all right, but we did not make the playoffs again. We were the 13th seed this time, so I don't know how we got worse, but we did get worse by a lot. Only winning 32 games. That doesn't really make much sense to me, but it is what it is. We'll have a top pick, and hopefully we can draft a stud. But D'Angelo Russell averaging about 16 and 7. Chris Middleton only 12 points. We might look to trade him as well. So let's see who wins this championship in this third season. Most likely the Warriors. And they actually lost to the Rockets, and the Magic are going to win. So it's a good thing we actually lottery protected our pick, because I thought we were going to be good, but apparently we're not. So we do have the 5th pick in the draft, and we're going to be trading up to the number 1 pick. We're going to overpay for this because obviously Brooklyn's going to hold the number 1 pick with a lot of value. We're going to send Chris Middleton the 5th pick and 3 second-round picks for the number 1 pick. And yeah, they need a shooting guard, so it makes sense. They also have Wiggins, so... And with the number 1 overall pick, we're taking an absolute stud, Jalen Green, out of North Carolina. I'm pretty sure he's an actual player, but he is an 83 overall with 90-something potential. I think it's 97 potential, so we got so lucky. And in this 4th season, we're looking like this. Karl-Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell, Jalen Green, who's already our 3rd best player, but... yeah, our bench is looking pretty solid. We have a lot of 77s and above. And I'm not sure if we're going to make the playoffs, but we're definitely in contention next year. So Giannis is going to win the MVP this year. Jalen Green, Rookie of the Year, which I expected. I mean, he's an absolute stud, averaging 15 points per game. Whiteside, 6th Man, and Michael Stauffer for the Magic Coach of the Year. Towns again on the All-NBA first team, averaging 22 and 9, so not a double-double, but it's expected when you add another superstar that your numbers are going to go down. But as a team, we were incredible #1 seed in the West. I almost said the East, but in the West, winning 50 games. So Jalen Green really is that guy, along with Towns and D'Angelo Russell, Mr. Ice in his veins, and we'll be playing the Warriors in the first round. They don't have Kevin Durant, but they do have 4 other All-Stars. I really like the makeup of this team. D'Angelo Russell can create plays and get the ball to Towns, and he's just going to finish. I do want to check out the team stats real quick, and we're about middle of the pack on offense, and we are a top 10 defense, so. And in the first round, I did not expect this, but we're killing the Warriors 3-0 on them. Let's see if we can complete the sweep, or the Warriors are going to come back. They still have 4 All-Stars, even though they lost KD, so anything can happen. We do lose by 9 points. Not a very good game from Towns. D'Angelo Russell had a pretty good game, though. But, yeah, Cousins showed up. 24 points for him. And let's see if we can end it here. We don't want to go to a Game 7 with the Warriors ever, but it looks like we are going to take another L here in a kind of close game. Not really that close. We lose by 7. Jalen Green with 23 points. The Rook showing up. Towns not really having the best series, but he's probably being guarded by Draymond and Cousins, so pretty solid defenders in them. And let's see if we can not force a Game 7 here. Maybe we can win in 6, and we are up 10. We do look like we're going to close it out, and we do take the dub by double figures. Towns finally shows up. 30 points, 16 rebounds from him. We'll take it. We'll be moving on to the second round and move past probably the hardest team in this Western Conference. In the second round, same result, up 3-0 on the Lakers. Let's see if we can actually get the sweep in this series and not happen what happened to the Warriors. But it looks like we are going to get not smacked, but we do lose by a significant amount. We lose by 8 points. LeBron James showed up for this game. He's really old, actually. I think he's like 36, 37, but can we beat them in 5 games? And it looks like we are going to beat them here by a lot. We blow them out here. Towns with 21 and 8. Almost had a triple-double as well. LeBron, pretty good game, 21 points, not too big. And in the conference finals, we're up 3-1 on the Rockets, so we're having a pretty good playoff series so far, actually. Being up 3-0 on the Warriors and the Lakers, and now 3-1 on the Rockets, and we do blow them out here. Our defense coming through, only allowing 72 points from Harden and Chris Paul. Chris Paul and Melo are actually like 37 each, so. So we're playing the Atlanta Hawks in the finals. Trae Young. They probably have another stud as well. Trae Young. Yeah, they have Mirotic, Jalen LeCue, John Collins. Yeah, I don't know. This team's not even that good. I don't know how they made it to the finals, but we do go up 2-0 on them. D'Angelo Russell dropping 20 and 6 assists. We go up 3-0 on them, so looking pretty good. Towns with a big game. Trae Young only 17. Yeah, our defense is the cornerstone of this team. I don't know how. I mean, D'Angelo Russell is not really known for his defense. Neither is Towns, but. So in this closeout game, to get the sweep, we're up 3. About 2 minutes left. Let's see if we can get some stops, and we'll be winning the chance. Oh, Trae Young open for 3. Oh, wow. I would have taken that any day. I would have taken that any day if I'm the Hawks. But I guess he choked. That's easy stuff for Trae Young. Easy. Towns mid-range jumper misses, and it fumbles around, and they do get the rebound. So we're most likely going to play through Towns in the post. And if he can hit his shots, then we'll be NBA champions. If not, then Trae Young has a chance to bring them back in this series. He's going to have an isolation, gets past D'Angelo Russell, and hits the mid-range jumper. D'Angelo Russell is going to bring it up court. Most likely they'll set up a post play for Towns. Looks like that's what they're doing here. Most likely, and they do get it to Towns. Fadeaway hook shot. Won't go again. This is like a mirror image of the expansion rebuild I just did yesterday. Like, Towns was going in the post every time. Oh, they turned the ball over. That's huge. were up 1 point and they turned the ball over, trying to get it to Trae Young inside, but he was too small, and we do intercept it, so we'll have a chance here to probably end the game. If we can hit a shot here, then they have to foul us, but we're going to go to Towns again. This time, he gets a bucket. Towns showing up big. 1 for 3 now. Not bad from Towns. But let's see if we can get the stop here. They still have very lethal shooters in Trae Young and Jalen LeCue. But let's see what they're going to do here. Most likely run again with that pass. Again with that pass inside to Trae. We play defense. We play defense. You need to understand that. Trae Young small. Illegal pick. Illegal pick. And we'll have the ball up 3. About 35 seconds left. So, can we close it out? I imagine we're going to Towns. PJ Washington. Towns, open layup. And he missed it. Towns, only 1 for 4 in this fourth quarter. In clutch. Oh my. He had an open 3. And he stepped inside the line. It wouldn't have mattered if he hit that shot. He had an open 3 and he went over the line. Like, that was so dumb. I know it wasn't Trae Young, but... And Taurean Prince just hit a 3, so we're up 2 with about 18 seconds left. We just got to hit our free throws and we'll be winning the championship. Jalen Green, the rookie, hits the first one. Second one is good. Ice in his veins for Jalen Green. D'Angelo Russell also Mr. Ice in his veins, so you know he's going to knock down his free throws. But what can Trae Young do here? They get it to Prince. Contested 3. No good. And D'Angelo Russell is going to have a chance to ice this game. First one is good. D'Angelo Russell. Can he put the statement on the game? Misses a second one. So we are up 5. It doesn't really matter at this point what they do. As long as we don't foul, we're good. Taurean Prince misses the 3, and we are NBA champions again. Actually, for the first time ever in Minnesota Timberwolves history, NBA champions. No Jimmy Butler, no Andrew Wiggins, D'Angelo Russell proving that he doesn't need Magic Johnson. He doesn't need anyone. Towns proving that he's a champion. Let's check out the stats. PJ Washington actually coming up huge. 23 points, 9 rebounds. Towns 19, 9, and 8. Almost a triple-double. Trae Young, 33. He showed out. He didn't get much help, though. Second highest scorer, only 12 points. So Karl-Anthony Towns, Finals MVP, etched into the history of the Minnesota Timberwolves. So that's going to do it for this rebuild. Let me know what you guys thought of this team. Let me know if you guys thought it was realistic enough. Also, let me know what moves you guys would have done. If you have any video ideas or comments, just leave them down below. I will check those out. I check most of them out. And thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more videos.
Never get to me. Bring out the Brinks truck. I'm young, flying iced up. 100-yard dash. I had to run my price up. Boss your life up.